Hello, TIP fam, back at you with another channeled message. And whoa, hi, hello, you are coming in strong already. Oh, right, yeah, but sacred space. I do this off camera all the time. They want me to do it on camera. I think I forgot last time. Whatevers. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna surround myself with some light. I just visualize that I am surrounded in light, and then I do the same thing around my room. I kind of imagine that I am like tracing my auric field with light from the universe, and then I do the same around my room. I imagine that I am tracing like the walls, the ceiling, the floor of my room with lights. Okay, let's go. Memchat has been ready all day. So, damn, the second I turned on the camera, he was like right up there. All right, drink some water before I get going with this. Excuse me, get that out of the way. I don't know what this is about, but it must be important because, whoo, his energy is coming through very intense tonight. Okay. I am Ezekiel Memchat of the Council for the Assistance to Earth. Greetings. Yes, it is important. So we will continue where we left off with my introduction. I spoke about how I was an Atlantean and still am. However, there were lifetimes in between that one and this one that I am currently living now, 10,000 years in your future. My Atlantean lifetime a long time ago was so significant to me that now in this current lifetime, I have remodeled my form, if you will, to match that one from that previous lifetime. It was so significant to me. I learned so many valuable lessons for my soul that triggered awakening on so many levels of me. So I have kept it. This form has served me well, and it is immortal, even though it is physical as well. But now, moving on. I wish to speak to you about Anna. The council members have introduced themselves, all but two. We are still waiting on Plashtar and the Eternal Child to introduce themselves. That is because it is not time yet for their introductions. They will know when it is the right time for them to come through an intuition, so to speak, much like how you get your own intuitions. In a sense, we thrive off intuition. It is all we operate by. Yours come and go. They are not listened to as easily as we listen to ours. Those impulses are what drive us constantly. You are learning that. You are learning that achievement, if you will. It is a stepping stone to greater things, to learn to listen to your intuition at all times. It is a rite of passage, so to speak, for all races. All races become more intuitive within themselves when they learn to master the art of listening rather than engaging. Now we will speak on important things, important matters. There is something important for all of you to know, for me to state very clearly, for all of you to hear, those who resonate with our channeled messages, those who resonate with me or any or all of the other council members or Anna herself. Those of you who may have seen our messages before when they were written out in text and who resonated with our messages deeply or perhaps more lightly. However, those who resonate, hear me now. This is a new way of channeling. We do not prefer old ways of communication. I am not speaking so much about text. There may be more texting in the future. There may be a blog, or who knows, a book maybe. But whatever is in the works for the future, that is not what is important right now. My voice speaking to you is required for the messages that are being sent. All of our voices, because it is about the energy now. It is not only about the words through the text, it is about my energy getting into your ears, into your vortex, into portals surrounding your minds, surrounding your bodies. Gateways, so to speak, for our energies to pour into. This is a different kind of channeling, and I would like to explain that to you now. Anna took 7 years, 7 long years to train with us on how to do this exact thing, on how to listen to us precisely so that our words can come through her like a computer, like a machine. We work with her brain in much the way that you type on a computer. It really is that simple. It is sort of jotting in the words. The same kind of idea how you jot words into a keyboard. It is similar in that sense. Safan spoke about some of this, how we are putting the words, we are inserting the words into a certain place in her brain. And when we do this, the words come very easily into her mind, and she repeats them until she lets go to the point that she is no longer repeating, and the words are simply flowing out of her automatically, mechanically, like a machine, if you will. Not to say that we are machines or that she is, obviously. I am using an analogy here. Now, the reason that this is important to speak about is this idea here, this concept here, that we are putting the words, inserting the words into a specific area of her brain. her mind, if you will, but her brain, her physical brain, the computer aspect of her physical body. This is very important because there are different locations in the brain, different gateways, portals. That is how they could best be described. So when you are inputting your energy into a certain placement in the mind or brain, it will affect the brain in a certain way than if you were to put it somewhere else in the brain. So it is like a map, so to speak. We know your brains very well. We know the different operations better than you do, better than your scientists do, because they have only discovered certain portions of your brains that work. They do not understand the sleeping parts. They do not understand the mechanisms that work literally while you are asleep. There are places in your brain that light up, that do not light up in the daytime, but they have not studied all of that. They do not understand every single part of the mind and the brain, or the mind-brain connection or soul-brain connection. They don't understand all of that. Not to say the mind is the soul, those are separate things, but there is a mind-brain connection, there is a soul-brain connection, and there is a soul-mind connection. When we are speaking through Anna, we are tapping into a certain part of her brain, as all entities who channel do. They all come through a certain part of the brain, or I will say the mind brain. That is the easiest way to put it. That is the way that makes the most sense to us for what we are explaining to you, because it is about the consciousness mixed with this physical portal, if you will, called the brain. So as we are connecting to her mind brain, we are using certain parts, certain sections to get through certain things, certain data. Now, with most channelers, when they are channeling the entities, whether it is a group or a singular entity that is channeling their messages, they tend to put them in a certain placement somewhere in the channel's brain mind. As they are doing this, it will be different for each and every one. Each connection serves a different purpose. So I want to explain this to you, that ours is a little bit different. The way that we use Anna's brain is a little bit different. The way that we connect to her brain mind is quite different from many others. You have heard of conscious channels where they are awake and they are repeating, and it may not look like they are doing anything at all. It may look like they are barely channeling anything, or that they are barely in a channeled state. Then you have other channels who are completely unconscious, and the entity takes over the mind and the body as well, and the channel sort of goes into a sleep. But Anna is doing neither of those. She is something in between. Now, there are other channels who are also in between, but again, this is a little bit different. As Anna continues to repeat, the more and more that she lets go, the more and more that we take over. And over the years of her channeling, the more that she becomes adept at this, the more slots of time there will be where she becomes more and more unconscious in that moment of channeling, and we take over completely. This has to do with her contracts as a channel. Her contracts are saying to her that you must channel in such a way that enables you to gauge whether or not you are becoming more of your reality self. And are you removing programmings that you have to become clearer and lighter, to hear us more clearly and more in depth. So as she becomes more and more clear, she becomes more and more capable of channeling us in a clearer and clearer, more intellectual, intelligible way. But there is more to it than that. See, we have also contracted with all of you, those who resonate, that we will also clear you as well. So as we are clearing her thought forms during these channeled sessions, we will also be clearing your thought forms, your programmings. There will be times when we are completely silent, when we are not speaking and we are focusing completely on the energy itself. See, sometimes channels will experience an entity switching back and forth between different sections of the mind brain, but for the most part, they will choose a specific location. Normally, when a channel is channeling, the entity or entities that are being channeled will focus on a very specific part of the mind brain in order to establish the best connection. And while there are certain places within the mind brain that are more capable or more advanced, if you will, at performing certain tasks such as channeling, mediumship, psychic abilities, all of that, yes, some are more designed, of course. Certain areas of your brain are more capable at doing that. However, there are multiple areas of the brain that are designed for that. And when a channel is channeling, the entities being channeled, the entities communicating, will observe the best possible location for their message to get through. Where are the areas of the mind brain that hold the least amount of programmings and yet are designed to do this certain particular work, such as channeled messages? They will choose the area that is the least likely to have programmings that will cause resistance. However, in the case of Anna, because she has contracted in such a way as to enable her to see where her programmings are and to gauge whether or not her reality is getting through the most, we decided before coming here, before beginning to channel with her at birth, we decided along with her before she entered into this body that the way in which we would channel would be different. We would not only focus on a certain part of the mind. I am going to give a for instance. Here I am going to help you to understand this a little bit better. And then you will understand more also of what you will be seeing in the future as she continues to channel and some of what you have already seen now. Now, I can focus myself, my energy into her mind in order to control her movements. So maybe I want to move her head. Now, if I am putting myself in the area that is designed to move her head or designed to move her hands, then you see that the physical movements are much more fluid, if you will. Now, if I were to put myself in a different area and yet I attempt to move her head or her hands, then it is going to look more like that. It is not going to look as fluid. It has to do with where I am focusing my energy in her mind. So, do I want to focus more singularly on the message, on the words that are meant to come through that day or in that moment or for a particular sentence? Then I will be focusing myself completely on the area where the message will come through in the clearest, loudest way for her to pick up very easily and repeat to you, or for us to simply take over and say it through her mouth ourselves, in a sense. Although she would still be, in a sense, repeating, but in an unconscious way. That gets a little complex. but we are not really taking over her body as in using it ourselves. She would simply be passing into unconsciousness, and then we would be still firing the words into a specific part of the brain, but we would also be focusing on the area of the mouth. And as we fired the words into her brain, her mouth would just start moving and speaking, talking for us. So there are different areas of the brain when a person is channeling. Now, if I want to focus on my energy and I want to emit that, I am going to focus much less on the message. Here we go. Now here I am focusing completely on my energy. I am choosing the best place for my energy to serve you by being emitted in the clearest way so that it can pass into you and remove your thought forms, specifically your doubts. That is what I am working on right now. And I use some of Anna's own self-doubt in order to do this, because as I clear her, you will also be cleared as you focus on the message. Now, as some of this energy is being removed, Anna is quite sensitive to energy, and so you might see her twitch or jerk. And you might also feel that yourselves. You might feel that your body spontaneously moves on its own. This is an energy leaving your body. It is sort of snapping out of wherever it was. This is something that we have contracted with all of you. It is about getting to your reality selves, removing all of the programmings. And it is not only our teachings that will enable you to do that, it is our energy as well, because we are here to help you, to assist you in this way, this specific way of ridding yourself of thought form programmings and entities that may have attached to you or that you may have created yourselves from a thought form. Channeling is a very powerful tool. There is more than one way to do it, and there is more than one thing that you can do with it. It is not simply a means to deliver a message necessarily. You can channel healing energies through your body, emitted through your hands, or your smile, or your eyes, or even your feet, or your solar plexus. In fact, there are portals all over your body where you channel information and where you put out energies to others around you and even to yourself out into your own auric field. In fact, you are always attempting to cleanse your energy field. You do not need all these extra things sometimes to cleanse yourself, although they can be good for you, of course, if that is something that enables you to do the cleansing yourself. But you are the one doing it, and you must understand, much like your liver is always working to cleanse your body of toxins, even if you go on a juice fast or something like this, yes, it can be very helpful to cleanse you, and we would even recommend that you do that at times. It is very good for you, and fasting in general helps to clear the mind as well as the body and the emotions as well as the energy field from toxins. It is true, and yet it is still a physical thing. It is a guiding tool, and it is, in a sense, a distraction from who you really are, or it can be. We are not saying that it is, but it can be a distraction from the understanding that you are the one emitting the energy that does the cleansing, even if you are using a physical tool. So even if you are using smoke to cleanse yourself, you have to understand that you yourself are constantly emitting energies out into the air around you, out into the light around you that you cannot see, your auric field. You are constantly emitting energies into your auric field to cleanse yourself. Just like your liver detoxifies your body, it is always working to do that. Now, it can end up on overdrive if you are putting too many toxins in. And that is when cleansing in another method is a very good idea. And the same goes with your auric field. And yet you internally have a system that cleanses you. And so we are asking through our energy, we are emitting an energy that enables you to put that out more. It enables you to step into that vibration more, that which you already are, that you are already doing. You are already emitting these energies out of you. You are already emitting these energies that cleanse you, that enable you, that provide for you. It is simply about you tapping into those and understanding that they are there. You are the mechanism that provides everything for you. You are the only mechanism that you need. Even our messages are not needed. However, they help you, or they can guide you if you resonate with us and with them. They can be a helpful tool for you in understanding new things and ridding your mind of old programmings that you were not aware of, maybe even that you stored, but you are housing them and they are not good for you and they do not serve you. Maybe they did for a time in a false way and you didn't understand that they were false, and now you are removing them from your mind, from your perception, even from your longing or your yearning, as odd as that sounds. But we have attachments to some of these false things. I had them myself many times as a human and as other beings as well on a lower level. I had attachments myself, programmings that I was very attached to. And I learned to get rid of those. I learned to rid them out of my mind, out of my body, out of my heart. It is very important to understand who you are in the midst of any other voice, in the midst of any other programming. Isolation, isolating, compacting, connecting the mind, connecting the heart with the soul, with the reality self, with who you really are. That connection can be, in a sense, not broken exactly, but interrupted. The flow can be disturbed. The flow can be distracted from, if you will. And then you are channeling other things. You are always channeling, as Fengidale recently said. You are always channeling. It is about what? It is about what, when, and where. Where are you channeling from? As in, where is your energy located? Which part of you is it operating from? Is it operating from the realist version of you, the self that has never been touched by outside programmings? Or is it responding to programmings and choosing to align with them, choosing to integrate with them even momentarily? This is a disruption from your flow. And then you attract to yourself things that you do not want, but you can discard those easily. It is about checking in with who you really are, with yourself, again and again and again, repeatedly, if must be. The reality self is waiting for you. It is always there for you to tap into. It is who you are already, underneath any beliefs that hold the vibration of who you are not. Any beliefs supporting lack mindset are gone the second that you tap into the reality self. I am Ezekiel Memchat of the Council for the Assistance to Earth, sending you peace. Even as we leave, we are removing programmings, we are removing doubts, we are removing thoughts of being incapable, even as I leave. Tap into the energy and say, I release, I release, I release what does not serve me any longer. I release what never did serve me. I release what is old. I release toxins out of my body, out of my mind brain, out of my auric field, out of my feet, out of my hands, out of my solar plexus, out of my mind, out of my third eye, out of my heart. I release anything I may have absorbed from others that was toxic or stale or simply does not serve me any longer. I release it now into the hands of the universe. So this is a healing work. All of our messages, they are not simply messages, they are encoded with our energy. They are a healing work. Doubt is often contained within the throat chakra. Put your hands near your throat and say, I release this self-doubt. I release this fear that is holding me back. I release my inability to set boundaries. I release any inability to speak in a clear way, and I allow my true voice through, my most authentic sound. I allow it to be heard by others in the most clear and authentic way because I love myself, and I will allow myself out to its fullest extent because I care about others. And I know my place in the world will impact them in the most positive way when I fully align with it and allow myself to completely surrender to the path and step on it. I step on it completely and fully with grace and ease. My path awaits me, and I am completely aligned with it. The universe has my back. It is on my side. It graciously accepts me. It does not expect perfection, and yet it helps me. It aids me to get to wherever I am needed the most to go. I am here for service for this collective, for others, to shed a light on their path. I can only do that by fully accepting my own path and embracing it with love for myself and for others, valuing myself first and foremost in the sense that I can do nothing for others until I have served myself in the best way possible. I am here for myself first in that sense, that it is not until I have fully accepted and loved myself that I will fully value and appreciate and accept others. Because we are all reflections. Everything is a reflection back to you of what you are putting out and of what is deep within you. Cleanse yourself. Allow yourself to be cleansed. Allow yourself to receive this healing energy that we are putting out to you now. It is the energy of love, the energy of peace, of joy, of willingness to move forward in miraculous ways. The willingness to heal, to overcome limitations, to remember that all boundaries are non-existent for the reality self, to step into the reality's energy now, to align with it right now. You are its voice. You are its vessel. It is moving through you, shining out through you to others. And that is your purpose, to be your reality self, to be the realest version of you in the realest, highest way that you can. To be your fullest, most authentic self all the time. That is your purpose. And you are getting there as you remove any false identities that you have been attached to. Say, I release them now. As you release them, you step into the reality self. And that is who you always are, who you have always been, who you always will be. And as you align yourself with what you are, more and more and more, the energy comes through you in the most powerful way. You channel miraculous occurrences. Be yourself. Be yourself. Your reality self. Your most authentic, realist self. I am Ezekiel Memchat, sending you peace.